the weapon, rather than the country.
But if Iran gets them with their bellicosity,
well, let me ask you a question.
Isn't that a good word?
Since you're the top of the ticket, and I want to make sure that I'm comfortable because you and I are going to have to hold hands a lot. And by the way, that shot of us on stage with our arms around each other, I'm going to look like your idiot nephew. You know, you're like 6'8". Right. And I'm 5'7". I don't think that's a winning ticket. Just
well, we'll get you. You know the Tom Jones.
You know
the Tom Jones elevated heels.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Okay, you will.
Here's what I think. I think the strategy of what we've done, and again, thank you guys for ratcheting up the fear on this.
You're not afraid that Iran gets a nuclear weapon and they cause all kinds of
There's a lot
of
things to be afraid of in the world. I asked a guy.
You're a Jewish guy, right?
What?
You're a Jewish guy.
Who told him?
All right.
Son of a bitch! Did you tell him?
So I believe I believe that the president of Iran
What gave it away? Was it my happy Hanukkah when I walked in?
I think
there is a war on Hanukkah in this country, mister.
I believe the Ahmadinejad, you know, he wants to drive you and all the other Jewish people into the sea.
So so I cannot control that. I cannot control what those things are.
What we can control is we can stop them from having the nuclear weapon.
Here's the thing. You might be able to stop them from having a nuclear weapon,
right.
But as technology grows and becomes more accessible to people, this is going to become an increasingly difficult problem. And here's what we can't do. Here's what we can't do.
What can't we do?
Our strategy for battling terrorism can't be that you overthrow governments and then make the United States military commit 150,000 troops to those lands until they can somehow stabilize the governments long enough so that you can prevent 10 people from plotting destruction in a basement.
It's bankrupting the country.
It's bankrupting the country.
But you don't seem too concerned about Iran. You just don't seem to be that concerned about it.
Because Iran, like most of these other countries, has a self-preservationist streak. And I am a firm believer that that self-preservationist streak keeps them, they're not mad. They understand. Look, there is no theory of mutual destruction with Iran. Let's say they get one off. It would be tragic.
Well, how will we trace it? We never trace it.
Please.
Look, they can't even get
absolutely
They can't even question the underwear bomber.
If somebody,
all right, they can't get a guy with underwear, and they can't get the answers.
Let's look at the geniuses we're up against. Right, Richard Reed was the airplane bomber. He tried to take that explosive and put it in his shoes.
Right.
It took them 8 years, and the plan they came up with in 8 years is, why don't we try sticking it under that guy's genitals? That's what they did in 8 years. They moved from the guy's shoes up to his underwear.
Right, and he
got
to Detroit, all right? So that's the frightening part about it. Now, trying Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in your living room, because you live downtown.
That's right.
And he's going to be in your living room.
That's right.
Are you down with that? You want that civilian?
I'd like him tried, honestly, in the pit. I'd like him right in there. And I'd like him to be executed at halftime of the Super Bowl.
But really,
and then reanimated so we could do it every year.
600 million, 700 million going to cost the city. We don't have any money here anyway.
I'm glad to see that you're suddenly very concerned about cost.
I am. I'm a fiscal conservative.
No, and I think maybe when the Iraq War was coming up, you might have mentioned that. It would have been a big help.
I said many times on this program that was not a good thing to do. All right?
You said you would apologize if they didn't find weapons of mass destruction.
And I did. I said I was wrong many times. That whole Iraq thing did not go well. All right? And I said it on this program. If you had watched the program,
you'd know
that.
Thing.
And your frame of reference would be much larger than it is
Here's the other thing,
right
too,
now.
and I want to talk about this because I think this is an interesting point. You know, this whole Tea Party movement is about anger at the government. And it has been embraced, and some would say sponsored, by Fox News. And when you talk to the Tea Party people, they're very thankful for Fox News and Glenn Beck in particular for helping them out. And I think that's very noble of them to do.
Do you like the Tea Party people?
I think I don't want to speak about them generally.
Do you know any Tea Party people?
Yes, I do.
Really?
And some of them
in Greenwich Village, there are Tea Party people? We're talking the protesters, not the real Tea Party people.
Let me tell you something, Bill. I'll give you 4 blocks of Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
And I'll put that up against 4 blocks around your house.
Levittown?
And no, your house now.
Oh, Levittown is where I was brought up.
Well, you don't live there anymore, brother.
No, but I live close.
So let me give you 4 blocks of where you are now, where you've been ensconced for the past however many years. I guarantee you I got a wider variety of people in the 4 blocks in Greenwich Village.
Are we doing zip guns, or what are we doing?
You know what I'm talking about. Enough with the whole, listen, when you and Bernie Goldberg get on here and the whole, like, these Harvard-educated media elites, and I'm like, you're a Harvard-educated media elite, O'Reilly.
I'm proud of it, man.
No, you're not.
Okay, but they won't even let me on their campus. Well, so that says something. But
here's my point.
Sheikh
Let's go back to my point. The Tea Party movement has been notarized, signed, sealed, and delivered by Fox News.
I don't believe that for an inch. We just cover it. Well, what do you think? We have mailings in here, and we have
You promoted it
organizations?
as a day of celebration.
We promoted it as a phenomenon taking place in the country.
You promoted it as a day of celebration. Meanwhile, 75,000 people marched on Washington for gay rights. Not even a picture.
We cover it?
No, you didn't cover it. In fact, you got a camera in Washington, D.C. You could have just pointed it out the window. You didn't do it.
When was this? When was this we didn't cover the gay march?
It was like a month. It was like a month after the Tea Party thing.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but I don't think it is.
So you're ratcheting up the anger. You're giving it a place to reside. I think that's wonderful. What I don't understand is when all that anger about the Iraq War occurred, what you did is you made it akin to treason.
That's not true.
And you made it akin to aiding and abetting the enemy.
When it became clear that the Bush administration lost control of that process.
But this was before it was clear.
But nobody could know before what it was. The New York Times editorialized that they should go in. Bill Clinton was saying they should go in. That's ridiculous.
All I'm saying is the consistency of your ability to look at these protest movements and treat them the same as a news organization would.
It's a different kind of protest.
And here's the other thing about the Tea Party movement. Where was the anger when we were spent into a $1.3 trillion deficit during the Bush administration?
Listen,
this has appeared out of nowhere.
It should have been there. It should have been there. And I'm partially to blame for that.
And why did Fox News not treat Ron Paul better when he's been talking about this stuff for the past 8 years?
Look, 10 years. We can't promote Mounds and Almond Joy. Are you talking about Peter Paul?
All right.
Peter, Paul, and Mary? It was Ron? Okay, Ron.
Let's go back to KSM.
No, let's go back to...
KSM.
Yeah, where he should be tried in front of a military tribunal. Congress passed a law.
Okay.
All right? Are you okay with that? Because you can't be my VP guy unless you're okay with that. That's a core thing.
Well, no, I don't see...
We're going to get tough on these guys.
I disagree with the premise that it's not getting tough on them to try them in a civilian court.
$600 million. You're willing to spend that? It's
$39.95
a day.
It's not about the money. It's about the integrity of the system. Now, I'm not against military tribunals.
But you're waffling now. You're in the middle. I need a strong VP. I know you're waffling.
I'm not running with you.
Oh, you're not? You've turned it down already?
I am not running with you.
Come on.
I'm not going to be your VP because I know what that's going to be. I get one job, and that's to light the White House menorah. Not interested.
Okay, but look, I'll give you
I don't want to be the guy up on that thing as you're going around.
You'll get to go to every funeral you can go to.
There are valid concerns
Yes.
about trying Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in a civilian court.
Right.
But one of the valid concerns isn't that it makes us a terrorist target and that it emboldens the enemy.
How do you know?
Because we're already a terrorist target.
Okay, that's like saying you got to close Guantanamo because it's a terrorist recruiting tool. They're already recruiting terrorists.
I think you're absolutely right.
Argument.
I don't think that's why we should close Guantanamo.
Why should we close it?
Because it's limbo.
Limbo?
It doesn't fit with the American system of justice.
It's better to be there than in some penitentiary here.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I've been there. It is. Trust me.
No. I'm saying it's better to have them go through a system where you can go through and methodically show the world that the American judicial system has the integrity to withstand even the most vile of
creatures. Does that include the Crips and the Bloods out in the yard confronting these guys? That's the American justice system inside prison. You know it, Stewart.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Listen, there's one thing America does better than anybody else in the world, and that's jail people. Give us a chance. We've got people that eat brains in our jails. Do you watch? I know you don't watch MSNBC, but watch it on the weekends. They have these prison shows.
I know.
I would love to see these guys in with them.
Why are they doing that, by the way?